just looked awesome.
145, there is Chris Engler, the senior from Hluschak and District 4, 38-4, coached by Ben Hepburn. He's in the 145-pound final. He is taking on junior Mike Mackey from Brandywine Heights. There is Mackey, 41-5 out of District 3, the third wrestler from Brandywine Heights. Sam Lavelle, the head coach, 103-33 career record for Mike Mackey, 111-14 for Chris Engler.
Engler, of course, the second finalist for Hluschak.
Engler in the maroon and white singlet, who just scored the opening takedown. And Mackey from Brandywine Heights in the familiar garnet and gray.
Hluschak High School has got a terrific tradition of wrestling. A couple of notable graduates from there. Chris Flieger, two-time state champion here at Hershey. He's a University of Purdue sophomore. He's ranked first in the country at 125 pounds in Division I NCAA. Placed third last year as a freshman.
Let's go. First start down, Red.
Also, Lycoming junior Tom Waldron, three-time finalist in the PIAA championships, two-time champion in 97 and 98. He's a top seed in the Division III Nationals at 133 pounds. As of last night, he was in the semifinals of the Division III National Tournament.
You gotta use them, son. You gotta use them.
You know, talking about Hluschak and what they have done, they have never had two champions in the same year. So they're looking to do that with Isaiah Britton already winning one at 135. Seeing if Engler can hold on and win one here at 145.
Engler taking his time, sinking in that half Nelson, working it very slowly. Mackey's in an awful lot of trouble. He's got to hang on for about 3 more seconds.
Well, 3 more back points for Engler.
Choice green.
And what we've been talking about with wrestlers from the top position being effective, I mean, we have really seen that. I don't want to say this is not the usual finals that we're used to seeing, but we are seeing wrestlers really make things happen here.
We're seeing an awful lot of near fall points, and I'll tell you, in contrast, I remember going to the Big Ten championships up at Penn State a couple of years ago, and I watched the quarterfinal round, the semifinals, and the finals, and I don't think anybody gave up any back points at all.
Well, it's a lot different than what we have been used to seeing in the regions and district finals around the state over the last couple weekends. Very conservative wrestling, and really it's justifiable because those are qualifiers, but usually you see that here in the finals, and we have not seen that up to this point. We have seen wrestlers really do what they've been doing all season, which a lot of times wrestlers sometimes will get out of that game.
Improve, improve, improve. Stalemate.
Now, of course, the mindset of Chris Engler may change a little bit with a 5-0 lead. He's going to be awfully tough to score on here.
Mackey has been dangerous. He had a fall in 3 minutes and 58 seconds in his preliminary match against Gary Green from Fort Cherry out of District 7. Mackey came to the tournament last year as a Southeastern third-place finisher at 135 pounds. Lost to Adam Faribaugh from Penn Cambria District 6. Did not place in last year's state championships.
Come on, man, work out of there. Stalemate, put down. Head your own.
Angler from Loyalsock came to the tournament last year as the Northeastern Regional Champion at 140 pounds. Lost in the quarterfinals to Scott Rendo. 4-2, didn't place, but finished the season 25-2.
When you end the season with just 2 losses, you'd think that'd be a satisfying season, but when you come to the state tournament undefeated and you go 0-2, it's not. That's one of the things that, you know, you really appreciate when you come here is the emotion of this sport. You know, it's awfully tough to deal with. You see wrestlers, you know, last night was the eliminations for getting to the medal presentation in AAA. It's awfully tough to take sometime. I mean, fans sometimes don't realize, you know, what these wrestlers have gone through, maybe since the age of 5, getting to this level. And this is it, you know, getting to states, getting here and not going home with a medal is awfully tough. And for some, not going home as a champion is awfully tough to take.
For some of these wrestlers, it's been a boyhood dream, certainly, to make it into the PIAA state championships. Do well, win a medal, win a title. And then, of course, you have an injury, which may end your career or your season prematurely, unfortunately. I know Juniata High School out of District 3 won the dual meet team championships this year. Some of their wrestlers have 50 wins. 50 in a year. Unbelievable.
Engler got the reversal to take the 7-0 lead coming out from the bottom position and get that reversal. Well, Juniata might have won the team championship, but Wilson, who was defeated in the first round of that, the 2-time state dual meet champions in AA out of District 11, have come back and have locked up their second straight state championship here. Coming into the finals, Reynolds was second, improved on that position a little bit, and it's probably going to hold on. Brandywine needed a fine finals to move up to the top 2.
Continue to work. Let's go.
Brandywine Heights is going to go 1 for 3 here in the finals if things hold on for Chris Angler from Loyalsock.
Continue to work. Let's go.
And Angler's just going to ride out the last 5 seconds flat. Arm spread, leg spread.
In the middle, shake hands, gentlemen.
Angler, the senior, is going to improve to 39-4 and be the third or the second state champion from Loyalsock here tonight. That's the first time ever that Loyalsock has crowned 2 champions in the same year. He will go home a gold medalist along with teammate Isaiah Britton.
On the award stand, please.
And there's the emotion of a long season that actually isn't over yet. I'm sure these guys are going to do some summer wrestling. We've talked about that in the Junior Nationals, but a long high school season has come to an end for Chris Angler, and he is a champion. 140-pound medal presentation now taking place.
Ladies and gentlemen, I direct your attention to the award stand, the 140-pound medal winners. In 8th place from DeLone Catholic, Eric Furman. 7th from Williamson, Chris Collum. 6th from Reynolds, Travis Battles. 5th place from Middlesburg, Christian Snook. 4th place from Elko, Matt Lambach. 3rd place from Burl, Jared Shields. 2nd from Bloomsburg, Steve Ansarabage. And our 140-pound champion, winner by decision, score 4-4 tiebreak, from Brockway, winning the first state championship from that high school. And in addition to that, joining the 100th Win Club, Scott Rendos.
Rendosa Jr., 107 career record now. He'll be back another season. He is a state champion from Brockway. We go to 152. There's Joe Rovelli from Myers out of District 2. He's a junior, 26-1, 93-18 career record. He is coached by Ron Swingle. And at 152, he will take on that wrestler, Ryan Hluschak, the second representative from District 11. Hluschak is from Northern Lehigh, 41-1, 145-33, and Hluschak is coached by Todd Herzog. Hluschak, a two-time state medalist, 5th and 3rd coming in, looking to be Northern Lehigh's 6th state champion.
Last year at the PIAA tournament, he was a Southeastern Regional 3rd place finisher at 140 pounds. He lost the preliminary bout to the eventual champ, Sychek from Richland, District 6, and won 5 consecutive tough consolation bouts to place 3rd. That is hard to do.
When you lose in that first round, you got to go 5-0. to get that 3rd place.
The mental toughness for a kid that isn't used to losing, and now the best he can do is 3rd place, and you've got to make it all happen and come back on your feet.
Now Hluschak tries to hit a concrete special, and he'll settle for maybe a takedown here, and there he does. He gets it.
And Rovelli did a nice job of not giving up near fall points along with that takedown. Rovelli's only loss this year was to Mitch Webster from Towanda. That was very early in the year. Since then, he's been perfect.
The last state champion from Northern Lehigh was Jared Herzog. Todd Herzog's cousin. That happened in the year 2000. Myers has 12 state champs. The last was Fred Fabrini back in 1991. And we talk about workout partners. Here we have Rovelli from Wilkes-Barre Myers and Mergadante coming up next at 160, also in the finals from Wilkes-Barre Myers.
Nothing. Still have nothing. We're neutral.
And I think that's a fine call by the referee. There was certainly no control as the wrestlers rolled out of bounds. Doug, we have 2 Wilkes-Barre Myers high school wrestlers in successive weight classes. And back in 1978, Myers put 3 wrestlers into the finals. Frank Castrogano at 138 pounds, Jay Patterson at 112, and Charles DeGraffenried at 167. And all 3 won. Myers won the team title that year with 62 team points.
Set. Stay there. Top.
You saw Todd Herzog there, head coach for Northern Lehigh. Hluschak starts that 2nd period from the bottom position, leading 2-1 on the strength of that early takedown.
Hluschak from Northern Lehigh, his only loss this year was in the Ironman tournament in Ohio. That was back in December 12th and 13th. He lost to Parkland High School wrestler, District 11, AAA wrestler Brad Herman, 4-0.
Brad Herman was unable to wrestle in the postseason this year for Parkland. He was a state medalist last year. He was unable to wrestle in the District 11 tournament at 152 pounds. The lengthy football season for a lot of these wrestlers, for Parkland especially, was a big effect. Parkland had almost half of their team on the football team that won a state championship this year in 4A. Brad Herman not one of them, but that Ironman tournament's early, and a lot of wrestlers, that's a tough tournament to start out in Ohio.
The Ironman tournament is a really, really tough tournament to get things started in early season. Wrestlers really just kind of shaking things out, working out the cobwebs at that time of the season. crowd a little disappointed in Rovelli's ride from the top position, not working for near fall points, and the referee's going to oblige and give him a stalling warning.
Ron Swingle, the head coach of Wilkes-Barre Myers. Here's Rovelli. You know, his job at this point is he can keep this one close. If you can turn Hluschak to get the near fall points, he'll take it. But he knows he's going to try to take bottom to get out and tie this one in the third. I think he was a little bit frustrated there that he was hit because he has been working on top.
And of course, that's where you get the crowd noise going. And quite frankly, Hluschak's doing very little from the bottom position. He's got himself into a bad position with 1 second left.
He's got nothing. He's got nothing. What do we got? Nothing. No change.
No, he didn't get the escape. And there again is a case where the two officials confer, and they have actually, it's worked out extremely well in this tournament. And that's why across the state throughout the whole regular season, we have seen officials work together.
Third period. Set bottom man.
It's a nice relationship between the head referee and the assistant referee to work things out like that.
So Hluschak showed the optional start to cut Rovelli immediately. He'll take his chances on his feet. Ryan's older brother, Steve Hluschak, a state medalist, went on to play football at Lehigh.
Improving their position. The referee will stop the match. Call a stalemate and get a restart back in the center.
He's okay. He's okay. Look here, son. Blood time. Blood time. Green.
5-minute blood time for Ryan Hluschak. We'd like to acknowledge the 3 million homes across the state and the millions of Commonwealth residents and sports fans receiving television coverage today of the Class AA finals on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. We hope you're enjoying our coverage today. Doug Heater along with Jim Davis. Reminder, too, on March 21st through 22nd, live the PIAA Basketball Championships coming up here on PCN, Pennsylvania Cable Network. 5 minutes of blood time to stop the bleeding of Ryan Hluschak. We talked about that blood time. Once the blood is stopped and they do the cleanup, the injury time will stop, but he will have 5 minutes.
I remember asking Dr. John Hosage, the head PIAA rules interpreter,
present him to the center,
about that very subject, and his comment was that the blood time is on the house. It doesn't count against that 5-minute time.
We are neutral.
Minute 15 to go. We're tied at 2 in the third period. Ryan Hluschak of Northern Lehigh in the lighter blue singlet and the fade, and Joe Rovelli from Wilkes-Barre Myers in the blue and gold.
Oh, right. An ill-advised lateral drop attempt by Rovelli has got himself in a lot of trouble.
3, 1, 22.
Hluschak's going to get 4 out of this, the 2-point takedown and a 2 near fall to take a 6-2 lead.
I appreciate Rovelli's effort. He's in the state finals. It's tied up. He wants to win the match. That was a little bit too much, a little bit too far against a very, very tough Ryan Hluschak.
Yeah, if you're going to try that against Hluschak, you better make sure it's going to work. He's not going to slip through it. Ryan Hluschak 15 seconds away from his first state championship. He's going to hold on, and he's going to win it 6-2.
Ankle bands. Good match, gentlemen.
We'd like to see that takedown again if we possibly can.
Hluschak improves his career record now to 146.
To the award stand, the 145-pound medal winners. In 8th place from Elderton, Todd Cessna. 7th from Commodore Perry, Clint Stout. 6th place from Reynolds, Dan Burns. 5th from Jim Thorpe, Ryan Bennick. 4th place from Ole Valley, Matt Eschenauer. 3rd place from Bloomsburg, Drew DePasquale. 2nd from Brandywine Heights, Mike Mackey. And our 145-pound champion, winner by decision, score 7-2 from Loyalsock, Chris Engler.
Chris Engler, 112th career win. He's a senior, is a state championship, the 2nd state champion today for Loyalsock out of District 4. We move to 160 pounds. There is Carlo Mergadante from Wilkes-Barre Myers. He is a senior out of District 2, 35-0, coached by Ron Swingle, 126-18 career record. He is taking on from West Branch. There is Jared Ricotta. He is a senior out of District 6. He is also perfect at 36-0, coached by Gary Pickle, 126-19. It doesn't get much closer with the records and career records of these two wrestlers.
We've got 2 undefeated wrestlers vying for 1 state championship.
Ricotta from West Branch in the red and blue singlet, and that has now become a familiar Wilkes-Barre Myers singlet. Mergadante gets the takedown to take the early 2-0 lead.
There's your 1.
Ricotta is a 2-time state medalist for West Branch out of District 6. He has placed 4th twice.
Last year's state championship, Ricotta came to the tournament as Southwestern Regional Champion. He's got himself in a bit of trouble with a near cradle situation. Going to give up at least a couple of near fall points, 3 near fall points for Mercadante. Mercadante in a lot of trouble.
They called the fall. Ricotta will get the fall from a defensive position. We'll take a look at that again. Here it is.
Here we go. Mercadante's in a bit of trouble. Ricotta does a nice job locking his arm, brings him around. And he's flat. He's flat.
There it is from a defensive position. The reversal wasn't given. Now again, Mergadante was leading 7-1 when that happened. So there's Jared Ricotta, becomes the 4th state champion from West Branch. And he remains perfect on the season. It happened in 1 minute and 16 seconds.
All right, we're going to look at this one more time quickly. Here we go. You can see Mercadante, Ricotta trying to get a reversal. Turns in. Mercadante positioning his right arm over Ricotta. Ricotta's going to reach up, grab his arm, and essentially just do a bit of a barrel roll, turning Mercadante right over to his back. Now, right there, you can't see it, but the referee can. Both shoulders are down.
Oh, they're taking a look at this again. I mean,
on the award stand are the 152-pound medal winners.
And there is Ricotta that has joined his family
in
the
8th
stand.
place from
Let's go
Pine
to the medal
Grove,
presentation
Cody
at 152.
Miller. 7th place from Bethesda Center, Mike Morgan. Sixth from Mount Pleasant, Victor McCoy. Fifth from Jeanette A.J. Graves. Fourth from Northwestern, Zach Schaefer. Third place from Lackawanna Trail, Keith Gavin. Second from Wilkes-Barre Myers, Joe Rovelli. And our 152-pound champion, winner by decision, score 6-2 from Northern Lehigh, Ryan Hluschak.
There's Ryan Hluschak, the second rep from District 11. This one from Northern Lehigh wins District 11's first championship today in AA. 146th career win is a championship for Ryan Hluschak. We move now to 171. We've got 4 bouts to go. Nate Shirk from Middleburg out of District 4. He's a senior, 30-1, coached by Dan Knepp, 119-15 career record. He is taking on returning state champion from Freedom area, Kurt Brenner, the junior out of District 7, coached by John Rosa, is 37-2 and 106-12 in his career. Brenner from Freedom area in the red and white singlet. Shirk from Middleburg in the blue and gold.
Have really been wrestling well. They struggled a bit in their semi-final bouts. Brenner had Philip Bomberger, a powerhouse stud from Juniata High School at District 3. Brenner beat him 6-5, and simply put, Brenner wanted it more. And that's the only way you can say it. Two wrestlers were pretty much evenly matched, but Brenner just wanted to win more.
And Brenner's got 2 losses, and both of those losses came in the Powerade tournament. We have blood time now for Brenner. He lost to Josh Weitzel, 7-2. We'll see Weitzel later tonight in the AAA. And he lost to Charlie Pianar, 3-2 of Penn Trafford. He placed 4th in that tournament. Now, Brenner was Freedom Area's first ever state champion last year. Looking for his second straight this year. Again, blood time on Brenner.
And we've got actually blood injury time on both wrestlers. Really?
Now they have the blood time running on both wrestlers. Today's championship telecast is made possible by Pennsylvania cable companies which carry PCN on their channel lineup. If you enjoy watching high school sports on TV, be sure to thank your local cable company for supporting Pennsylvania's championship network and giving these high school athletes a much-deserved statewide audience. Now, this has been a very exciting round of the finals this afternoon in AA, and of course we have the AAA coming up tonight live at 8 o'clock. And we'll save some surprises for people that do not know who's going to be in the finals tonight, but I think there's going to be some pleasant surprises, and it should be a very, very exciting AAA tournament coming up tonight at 8. Which is out of District 4. He is a 2-time state medalist. He has placed 6th in both of his state tournaments.
Come on out, we're cleaning up. Yo, stay here, Red. Stay here. You're bleeding. I got to clean up on the arm.
Middleburg, like we've talked about many schools today, Jim, is looking for their first ever state champ.
Yeah, we're bleeding now. We're bleeding green. Red, go on over. I'm going to go talk to them too. Let's watch your heads, okay? Let's watch your heads.
We get up to the bigger guys, and you start seeing a lot more of the physicalities of this, and that's what's happening. Heard the official talk about it. It's going to let each wrestler know.
Watch your heads out there, all right?
Other than Nate Shirk, the only other place finisher in the PIAA tournament history for Middleburg was Greg Naus. Placed at 160 pounds back in 1999.
Cut the time, Green. Cut the time. That's not blood. guys. Wait up here now. Okay, here we go.
Action back underway. And Shirk near that takedown. He's going to get it.
You're neutral, Mr. One.
Brenner won his 171-pound state title last year over Dan Edmonds of Bloomsburg, 9-7 in overtime. Now, it's a good example of the referee staying on top of the situation. When the wrestlers are on their mat,
I got blood, unread, blood
their
red.
knees are their points of contact.
Blood red.
Brenner was smart enough to keep his knees up and off the mat, keeping his toes in bounds. When that happens, his toes are his points of contact with the mat.
And the mat.
One wrestler can be totally out of bounds, the other one totally in, and the match continues. Takedown stand.
Find some over there, Woody.
Take a look at this Brenner takedown. It's given him this lead after getting the escape one more time.
You can see the two wrestlers battling it out. Shirk tries a bit of a throw by, gets himself in a bit of a bad position. Brenner quickly rolls through. Shirk's fast enough to get back on top and scramble well. That's a 2-point takedown early in the match.
Gave Shirk the first points of the match. At the time, gave him a 2-0 lead, and Brenner has battled back to take a 3-2 lead. You know, one of the arguments throughout this weekend has been, and when you're using the multiple mats, you talk about the wrestlers dragging their feet, but the officials will not award a takedown if the other wrestler is out on the floor. And it's happened a couple times, especially when we've gone to the 6 mats where they've actually literally have been against the hockey rink or against the dasher or the hockey rink, and they're not going to award it, despite the fact that the wrestler in control has his feet in bounds, because the wrestler cannot be out sitting on what would normally be called the gym floor.
Yeah. In particular, with the heavier, bigger guys, we've seen that actually quite frequently. And in the heavyweight division in 275, a couple of the guys have crashed into the dasher boards pretty hard.
There has been some heavy contact in those, in some of the earlier action at 275 here this weekend.
Set, top, you're on.
Brenner is ranked 3rd in the country by Amateur Wrestling News, behind AAA stars Jake Herbert from North Allegheny, District 7, Josh Weitzel from Oxford, District 1.
Easy, good break. Right in here, guys, right in. Go ahead. Blood red, blood.
He has a total of 5 minutes blood injury time, and he can take as many timeouts as he needs, but he can only take 5 minutes total.
And you can see that this blood time is starting to bother Brenner. He has not been able to get into a flow. There's nothing you can do about it, but I think it's taken him a little bit out of his game.
Well, it came from somewhere. It wasn't left over. He was bleeding, just stopped. Oh, he must have a little spot for that.
The blood time does not count against the wrestler during cleanup, whether it be on your body or after you've stopped the bleeding. So Brenner doesn't get any time taken off of that 5 minutes.
Here we go.
Brenner in on a single leg. Doug, you're right. I think if Brenner is such an action-oriented wrestler, these frequent blood delays may take him out of his game.
And you can see here where Brenner is comfortable on his feet, where he cut Shirk loose to try to take him down again.
Work out of that, guys. Let's go. Work in.
Nate Shirk also struggled in his semifinal bout against Brandon Wade from Bedford out of District 5, winning the match 5-4. Shirk cruised easily in the quarterfinals against Matt Loesch from Upper Dauphin, District 3, by technical fall 16-1.
Renner from Freedom, coached by John Rosa, and Dan Knapp, the head coach at Middleburg, District 2.
Now that overhook that Shirk has in is called a whizzer.
Blood, green, blood. On the green.
And now we have blood time for Shirk, and Brenner's in control now, 8-3. And exactly what you talked about, Jim, where he, after that that last blood time, where he just tried to push the action again. Take a look at this last Brenner takedown now that gave him this 8-3 lead.
Shirk has that overhook in, called a whizzer. It's a defensive move. Brenner lifting a bit with the leg, coming up underneath, trips around behind, and that's what gives him the takedown here. And in the scramble situation, Brenner ends up in the top position for 2 points.
So we have blood time on Shirk. PCN is well known for covering state government activities, but its public affairs programming also extends to significant Pennsylvania events. For State Farm Show coverage, Gettysburg Battlefield walks, factory tours, and of course Scholastic Sports Finals, set your cable dial to the home of high school champions, PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network.
13, start 13. Let's go. Bottom man, you're trapped. Top man, you're on.
Shirk working hard to try to get out, to get that escape before the end of the second period.
And it's a little different being down here right next to the mat when you see these 171-pounders working as hard as they can.
Well, wait till we get some of the bigger guys out there. And tonight, but you're absolutely right.
No change. Red's on top.
I think you really feel the emotion too, you know, when you're this close, especially in the earlier rounds of the emotion when you're able to get down on the mat with these guys. Just, you know, almost feel what they're going through, win or lose.
Green is down. Bottom man, he's gonna go out still. Okay? Go ahead, get set. You don't move, you're good. Top man, you're on. Neutral one.
Shirk's going to cut it 8-4, but he has yet to score a takedown. And he got the one takedown to start the bout, but since then, Brenner has been awfully tough.
Brenner opened the tournament in the preliminary bout against Sam Collins from Littlestown, District 3, with a technical fall 20-5.
We're up.
We've been talking now, Jim, all tournament, but here's Brenner, where he feels very comfortable on his feet. And he feels comfortable that he's not going to give up a takedown, number one, and that he can get him because he has done it throughout this bout.
Well, he gave up that takedown early, and since then he really has not been in much trouble in the top position. And of course, as I say that, he gives up a takedown.
Well, we've been talking about all finals here, about wrestlers working from the top position more effectively, yet here's Brenner, where he feels comfortable taking Shirk down. And now let's see what Shirk can do from the top position. He trails by 3. He's going to give up a reversal.
Shirk came to the tournament last year as a Northeast second-place finisher at 160 pounds. He lost the semifinals to Jimmy Gibson, Northeast Bedford, 9-2.
Come on the mat right here when you're done.
As we mentioned earlier, placed 6th in the tournament.
Again, blood time. This is for Nate Shirk. PIAA Diving Championships coming up on March 13th live here on PCN. Take a look at this last Kurt Brenner takedown. It's given him this 5-point lead.
Brenner with an underhook just comes in, picks up the leg, right on around, gets 2 points and lets him up as fast as that.
We have not seen that yet this tournament. And you know what's funny is that you don't usually see it from a 171 pounder. You would see it from the littler guys, the smaller guys.
Smaller, faster guys.
Yep.
That's a tribute to Brenner's effectiveness and his conditioning.
What does the conditioning really come into effect in this tournament? You talked about it earlier, about getting into the consolations and having to wrestle sometimes within an hour of your last heartbreaking loss. Conditioning is key, and I think that's been a difference of why certain wrestlers are finishing 3rd or 4th or 5th as opposed to either being knocked out of the tournament altogether or finishing farther down.
2 for 1.
Shirk trying to land something big.
He's going to lock it up. Try something here in the waning seconds of the match. Better that than stand there and watch the time click off.
Neutral in here.
Well, Shirk did the smart thing, though, and worked towards the out of bounds.
2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds.
But he might have run out of time.
Great job, guys.
Kurt Brenner.
Now it's done.
He's going to win his 2nd straight
We're gonna go 4 times,
state
okay?
championship from Freedom area out of District 7.
Please.
We had 2 returning state champions in the finals this afternoon. Both of those came away as 2-time state champions. We saw Joe McCara from District 7 in Burrell with his 2nd straight.
The awards
and now Kurt Brenner. There's our medal
160
presentations now at
medal
160.
winners. In 8th place from Northeast Bradford, Stephen Loudermilk. 7th from Berlin Brothers Valley, George Childers. 6th place from Brookville, Matt Gilbert. 5th from Shadyside Academy, Damian Johnson. 4th from Cochraton, Chris Hogue. 3rd from Richland, Rob Sackmar. 2nd place from Wilkes-Barre Myers, Carlo Mercadante. And our 160-pound champion, winner by fall, time of the fall, 1:14 from West Branch, Jared Ricotta.
Ricotta won that bout at 160 in what now has been the wildest one up to this point in the finals, winning from that defensive position on that fall to win that title.
Really, really rare for something like that to happen. In fact, throughout the AA tournament, I don't think that any of the wrestlers have won their matches by that type of an effect.
We move to 189. Jason Mitkowski from Nanacoke. He is 36-1 out of District 2. He's the senior, coached by Jack Breida. He is taking on from District 11, the 4th wrestler in the finals from District 11, Dave Yobst from Wilson High School, coached by Dave Crowell. Yobst, 36-5. He's the senior, 90-33 career record. Yobst, a returning state medalist from a season ago, placing 7th in the state tournament. And once again, we have another school in Nanacoke looking for their first ever state champion in Jason Mitkowski.
Mitkowski in the darker blue uniform with the white band around his waist and the red leggings. Lopes in the lighter blue and gold.
Wilson winning the team championship this weekend at Hershey. Yopes, the lone finalist for the Warriors. Yopes was injured right before the District 11 dual meet tournament for Wilson. He was out of the lineup. They held him out, and he got back healthy again. And Fortunately for Yobst, he was able to make his way back to the state finals here at 189.
Last year's state championships, Wilson set a new AA team record with 132 team points in the race for these championships. They had 4 finalists, 3 champions, Corey Garris at 125, Nick Krecker at 145, and Jeremy Hartram at 112.
If you asked Dave Crowell about last season, he said it was the kind of year where you could sit back and just let the team go. The wrestlers responded to pretty much anything he asked, and it was a dream season. They had a fine season this year, which would be probably great to anybody, but after having the 2 seasons that Wilson had the last couple of years, anything but that, you almost start to expect it. And it's been a little bit different, but Wilson has done a great job. They've worked a little bit harder this year. They've had to work a little bit harder in the consolations to get this team title.
Of course, only having 1 wrestler in the finals, it says a lot for the rest of the team coming through in the consolation bracketing, which is just really, really hard to do.
Well, you remember a couple of years ago, the University of Minnesota won a national championship with nobody in the finals.
Nobody in the finals, that's right.
Go back.
Jason Mitkowski from Nanticoke has 1 loss coming into the final. His loss was to John Laborante from Pittston Area High School at District 2 in a holiday tournament earlier in the year.
Laborante was the Northeast Regional AAA runner-up this year. His first loss of the year was to Josh Haynes in the Northeast Regional Finals.
11 seconds. Set. Stop. Good job. Good job. Good job, stop. Stop wrist, Jason, at the wrist.
Dave Crowell on the left.
Good choice. Jason,
He's leaving that hand like this, right at the wrist, heading this
We were
way.
talking earlier about the wrestling season
Head here. Change over.
being over for these wrestlers. We take a look at Jack Breiter from Nanticoke. But next Sunday, we'd like to remind our viewers that the Dapper Dan Classic will be held at the Pitt Fitzgerald Fieldhouse next Sunday. 4 o'clock is the WPIAL against the state of Virginia, and at 6 o'clock is the USA against the state of Pennsylvania. Next Sunday, the Dapper Dan Classic held at the Pitt Fitzgerald Fieldhouse.
change out, now we got blood. Yep. Red.
The postseason tournaments will begin for a lot of these wrestlers
No injury time.
at the end of the season. At the end of the season today,
Blood time.
we have blood time again for Mitkowski. He currently holds a 2-0 lead as we're in the second period. For our television audience around the state, we hope you're enjoying a front row seat to these Class AA championships on PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network, the state leader in scholastic sports programming. We're taking a look at the crowd on hand today, and I tell you what, through all the sessions over the last 3 days, attendance has been phenomenal.
Really has been.
Ready to go. Cut the time.
And the Giant Center is a super place to hold these championships, without question.
Give us a chance to thank some of the people that have been responsible here, helping us out the last couple days for the PIAA. Brad Cashman, also Dr. Robert Lombardi, Melissa Mertz, Mark Byers, and Greg Biller, all the administrative staff of the PIAA, once again running a fine tournament here, and the Giant Center providing the facilities for the 2003 championships.
Easy. One thought, man, need a little more out of you. All right? Pop.
And now getting to the heavier weights, we are getting our first real look of how important weight training has become to wrestlers now over the last couple seasons, and we will really get an example of that when we get up into the AAA level with some of the wrestlers at 189 and 215. But you can see Jobst and Mitkowski hit the weights awfully hard, and I think over the last couple of years, that is something that the wrestlers and the coaches, maybe more so, have finally welcomed with open arms, the off-season weight training.
It's gotten to the point, really, where you have to be strong and powerful to do well in the tournaments. And it becomes even more critical when you get into college, because you're not wrestling high school kids anymore. You're wrestling men in college. And those guys are typically really, really powerful wrestlers. Really nice throw by those. Mitkowski right back out to tie the match 3-3 with an escape.
Going under a minute.
Changing levels nicely. In very deep against Mitkowski. And again, Mitkowski's right back out.
No, Jobst doing his best to keep Mitkowski down, but it's just not working out. But he's still leading 5-4. A couple of takedowns have given him this lead.
We got red on time.
Now we have injury time for Mitkowski, which means he will have a minute and a half of injury time.
We're on injury time.
Here's that last takedown by Jobst. And you see how quick Mitkowski will get out of this.
Right in, changes levels nicely, getting away from the defenses of Mitkowski. He's in very, very deep. Driving, and he's doing a nice job of driving in a circle, so he's not pushing his opponent out to the out-of-bounds line. Right in the edge of the mat. Mitkowski right back up. And he's just going to turn in, get an underhook, and get himself right back out for an escape.
Another rule change they made is the fact that they are now allowing the coaches to coach during injury time. That is a change of this season. They used to not be able to talk to the wrestler at all during injury time, but this year the change has been made. So you see Dave Prowl talking to Dave Jobst, and also the coaching staff for Nanticoke also over there checking out Jason Mitkowski and giving him some words of encouragement.
Referee making sure that Mitkowski realizes that he doesn't have that 5 minutes working for him. He only had a minute and a half. And if he takes another injury time, Jobst is going to get a choice on how to restart the match.
Takedown, he's got it, son, he's got it. Takedown there. Work up. 5 seconds, 5 seconds.
Crucial takedown there from Mitkowski right before the end of that period to take that lead.
He needed that. He needed it really, really bad.
Man, I got your choice.
He had given up a couple of takedowns. He needed one of his own to get right back in the match.
I got blood time, blood time.
And now we have blood time on Mitkowski, so that's different than the injury time, so he'll get about 4 minutes of that. That's left over.
Take that all back. You still want red?
Here's Mitkowski's takedown to give him a 6-5 lead here in this third period.
Not here, huh?
And you can see him just driving in. There's no way you're going to stop that double leg tackle.
Yeah, we're on time.
We talk about how strong these wrestlers are, and Jobst with great hips still unable to sprawl out of that. Just the strength and drive of Mitkowski. Right now, that's been the difference. He leads by a point, 6-5.